So you mentioned, recent leader at Beata, focusing on M&A. Probably a non-traditional, non-linear M&A background. I don't know, a ton of people who start in M&A, but I definitely didn't. Went to school for chemistry, of all things. And by the end of that, had a real high tolerance for pain, for the details and really complex things, and wanted to do anything but chemistry by the end. But then from there, found Beata really in an IT implementation gig. It was their first attempt to get off of a very old legacy, somewhat paper-based system into the early electronic medical health records stuff. And so I got to learn that business soup to nuts really quickly, because you were replacing every process with a new system. And so I was getting into like the whole data, things moving around between systems, how it all came together. And through the integration work through that, that's why I actually learned accounting, was from a IT perspective, which I don't know if I recommend for a lot of people. But I went from there to getting into analytics and data warehousing and trying to connect data to financial results. And that's where I got into forming my relationship with the CFO at the time, because I was the one pulling reports for him for quarterly management meetings and earnings reports, and got to sit next to him during big deals and see how it actually came into play. And that was like my first exposure kind of into M&A. And then was working with him for a while, focusing on just running the business. And then he and the founder said, hey, you should probably learn finance, how it really works. And they supported me going to Wharton. I did Wharton on the weekends, their executive MBA program. And that's where I got to really learn, the real high finance, and fell into taking a corporate valuation course. And that's where I loved like the work, like how it actually works, the discounted cash flows, the comps, building the detailed models, and wanted to take that back to Beata to actually implement those like frameworks, which are textbook frameworks, into how deals get done.